Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going through a practice day with me. So I'm going to be just taking you through what I do on the range and how I practice. So let's get into it. First thing I will do is I'll get my 60 degree and I'll just hit a few little half shots just to get a little warmed up. Little half shots, make sure that I'm going to the right place every time. So my target's in line to where I'm aiming. And then what I would do is moving on to more of a 3/4 shot. So you have to be able to hit that, 3/4 shot when it's into the wind, little flighted down. Just like that. I choke down a little bit. That's what I kind of feel like in a little shorter stance. Just like that. And then move on to a little more of that stock shot. So yep, perfect. Checking to make sure that I'm hitting my distances as usual. Yep, perfect. And then what I would do is I would go on to my 9-iron and I would just kind of stretch out my back a little bit. All into those places where you kind of side bend also, just so you don't twist anything in your back, because I've had that happen a lot of times. Especially, actually, even on wedges, I've had that happen. So just making sure that you stretch out your whole back is very good. And then move on to hitting that 9-iron, hitting more stock shots. These first few shots are not going to be, exactly what you want, but you'll be able to dial it in after a few shots. There you go. Always making sure that you churn and churn through the golf ball. So that's what I'm kind of focusing on. That I don't only use my hands, but I also churn. That was perfect. Then what I would do, I was move on to my 7-iron. That's more of my mid-iron. So I'm getting used to all these lengths. So hitting different clubs with different lengths. So this would be my 7-iron. Just be able to churn and churn through. So make sure that you're churning, your chest is pointing back to the target and through the target. It's kind of what I'm focusing on. Yep. Usually after that, I'll go on to my 5-iron, more of my longer iron. So I'll get used to this one. This one I have a trouble on, I don't know why, but sometimes when I haven't hit it in a while, you get some of that just thinning it or something. That's kind of what my miss is. Yep, perfect. And really what I'm focusing on is just getting the body more warm so you're able to hit it, like you're able to maximize your hitting capacity when you're on the golf course. So you're not making mistakes because you're not warm enough. So this is basically just getting your body warm. And what I'm looking for is more of a draw or a straight shot. So that's basically what I'm looking for, but it might be a little different for you. So don't always copy what I do. But this is just my routine. And then what I'll go on is 2-iron. 2-iron, especially in the cold, is not very fun to hit when you're hitting it bad. So gotta make sure that you're hitting it good. If it's hurting your hands too much, then I'll probably not hit it. But it's a fun club for me to hit. Make sure that in all the right places. Yep. Working that draw a little bit. So you just got to make sure hitting that middle, coming back to the same spot. Was a little better. This club, 2-iron and driver are probably my favorite clubs, so that's probably what I would spend the most time on. Maybe different for you, but what I usually practice the most, just because these are more harder clubs to hit. Yep, perfect. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to driver. So with driver, what I try to do with this is I try to recreate the same exact shot over and over again. So I try to just recreate that same shot over and over again. So when I'm on the course, that I recreate that same shot over and over again, and I have the same feeling. So when I go to the range, I'm not trying to hit a fade, draw, or like a straight shot. I'm just hitting my stock shot over and over again. I'm trying to recreate that same shot over and over again. I mean, sometimes I will throw into that, like just be able to check if I'm just hitting that draw and that fade and that straight shot, but usually it's just mostly my stock shot I'm trying to dial in. Yep, perfect. There you go. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Now I'll try to hit like 5 in a row before I move on to chipping or going back to just hitting some few chip shots, but I'll try to hit 5 in a row like this. And if I mess up, I have to restart. It's a bit outright. Just going back to that checklist. Okay, I'm going back like I should. Just be able to hit that middle of the club face. All right, it's perfect. Yep. Then I'll move back to my wedge, and I'll just hit a few chip shots before we go.